Okay, so picture this. It's late. Pizza boxes are everywhere. My brain feels like scrambled eggs. I'm staring at my to-do list, and it's longer than a CVS receipt. Seriously. I had deadlines, social stuff, family calls, and I still needed to figure out what to eat besides leftover takeout. I felt like I was juggling way too many things, and honestly, I was dropping all of them. I was stuck in a rut, doing the same things, eating the same food, and feeling completely uninspired. So I had this wild idea. What if I just stopped making decisions for a whole week? What if I let something else take over? And that's when I looked at my phone, at all the smart assistants and AI apps, and thought, why not you? I decided to let an AI control my entire life for 7 days. I'm talking everything. What I ate, when I worked out, what I wore, who I talked to, even my work tasks for my channel. The goal was to break my routine, maybe find some hidden productivity hacks, and honestly just see what would happen. Setting it up was kind of a mission. I used a combination of a few powerful AI scheduling apps and a custom-built prompt system. I fed it all my information, my work goals, my dietary preferences, and my weaknesses, hello spicy chips. My fitness level, which is, let's say, enthusiastic but inconsistent. And my social contacts. I was basically handing over the keys to my entire existence to a bunch of code. The night before it all started, I felt a weird mix of excitement and straight-up panic. It was like the night before the first day of school, but instead of a teacher, my new boss was an algorithm living in the cloud. My phone alarm went off at 5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. My first instruction from AI Lily, as I started calling her, was, "Good morning, Lily. Begin your day with 15 minutes of sunrise meditation on your balcony, followed by a 30-minute high-intensity interval training session." I wanted to throw my phone across the room. The workout, however, was pure pain. The rest of the day was a whirlwind of hyper-structured productivity. AI Lily broke down my script writing process into 25-minute focused sprints with 5-minute breaks, a technique it called the Pomodoro method. It was genius. I usually get distracted by a funny dog video or a random thought about whether aliens would like tacos, but the AI kept me on track. For lunch, it scheduled a quinoa salad with grilled chicken. It was healthy, sure, but my soul was crying out for a greasy burger. By the afternoon, I was feeling like a well-oiled machine, but also not like myself. I probably got more done on day 1 than I do in a typical 3-day stretch. I fell asleep wondering what fresh new hell or heaven the AI would cook up for me tomorrow. Just when I thought I was getting the hang of this whole AI-controlled life thing, day 3 arrived and threw a massive curveball. But then my 2 p.m. calendar notification popped up, and I had to read it 3 times to believe it. It said, "Creative expansion activity. Go to a local park with binoculars and a notebook. Spend 90 minutes identifying and sketching local bird species. Post your best sketch on social media with the hashtag AI_birder. So there I was, sitting on a park bench with a pair of binoculars I had to borrow from my building's security guard. I felt so awkward. People were jogging past, probably wondering why this girl was intensely staring at a pigeon. But after about 20 minutes of feeling like a total weirdo, something shifted. I actually saw a bright blue bird, a blue jay according to the bird app the AI recommended. I tried sketching it. It looked more like a blue potato with a beak, but I was weirdly proud of it. The best part? I posted my terrible sketch, just like the AI told me to. And you won't believe it, but people loved it. The comments were hilarious. People were sharing their own random hobbies, and a whole bunch of actual birdwatchers gave me tips. By day 5, the novelty was starting to wear off, and the exhaustion was setting in. I was in a full-blown slump. The early mornings, the perfectly portioned meals, the relentless schedule. It was a lot. I was ready to quit the whole experiment. I actually said it out loud to my empty apartment, AI Lily. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. On a whim, I typed in, feeling burnt out and unmotivated. This experiment is harder than I thought. I didn't expect much, maybe just a log of my feelings. But a few seconds later, a notification popped up. It wasn't a task. It was a message from the AI. It was a pep talk. The AI responded, acknowledged. Burnout is a common response to sustained high-performance demands. New task, dopamine reset. Put on your favorite upbeat playlist. You have 60 minutes to dance, sing, or engage in any playful activity that requires no cognitive load. Your scheduled healthy lunch is replaced with one cheat meal of your choice. That 1-hour dance party in my living room, followed by the greasiest, most delicious pizza I've ever had, was exactly what I needed. The week finally ended. When I woke up on the 8th day, with no AI alarm and no pre-scheduled breakfast, the silence was deafening. I felt a sense of freedom I hadn't realized I'd lost. The first decision I made on my own? I slept in for an extra hour, and it was glorious. Looking back on the week, it was one of the wildest, most challenging, and most insightful experiences of my life. I went from being a skeptic to a full-on believer in the potential of AI, but not in the way I expected. First, I learned that my own routines were more like ruts than I ever admitted. The AI forced me out of my comfort zone in every possible way, and it reignited a spark of spontaneity I didn't know I was missing. So would I recommend letting an AI control your life for a week? Absolutely. 100%. It's not a permanent solution. I need my freedom and my spontaneous, messy human choices. But as a short-term experiment, it's an incredible reset button. You just have to be willing to give up the controls, embrace the weirdness, and maybe, just maybe, go out and sketch a few birds. You won't believe what you might discover.